Hey everyone, it is me again, LazyDude99. So, I'm here with a review brought to you. Today I am reviewing Batman Under the Red Hood, the new DC animated movie. Now, you guys have no idea how much trouble I went through this, how much misunderstood information and blah-de-da went through this entire encounter. I mean, first, I thought I read in a magazine that it was coming out July 17th. Do I go to a store, HMV, and I look for it, and I couldn't find it, and then I find out it's June 17th. So then I wait a month, and then on June 17th coming along, I look everywhere, Walmart, Superstore, everywhere, and it's not there. Then I find out that must have got moved back to June 27th, so I had to wait another 10 days. And finally, on June 28th, I go to a place that has like almost every movie in the world, and they said they don't have it to buy. I have to rent this thing. So after doing all that and having to pay extra to rent it, because it was only a one-day rental, I finally see Batman Under the Red Hood. And I must say, it was almost worth it. I would not go through all that again to watch that because technically I wouldn't have to, but I would almost do it all again just to see it. Because, guys, this movie was really good. The basic story starts out with Jason Todd getting beat to death by the Joker. Now, they changed some things, a lot of things actually, in this story to make his death actually kind of if you don't know who the Red Hood is right now, watch the movie before you continue on this review. If you know who he is, then continue watching, because I'm going to give away who the Red Hood is. They changed some things to handle his resurrection, Jason Todd's resurrection, because of course he is the Red Hood, and his death perfectly. First, they changed. First of all, they changed the location. He wasn't in a desert location. He was in Siberia, I think it was. And Joker wasn't there just because he needed money, like he was in Death in the Family. Ra's al Ghul hired him to distract Batman from his endeavors. This is all explained in the movie. I don't need to explain too much. I won't give anything else away, but basically, this guy comes up, knows the Red Hood, that nobody knows who he is. Of course, we all know, because I just told you. He comes up as a crime lord, and he starts taking down Black Mask's empire. And then he just starts killing criminals. So Batman's trying to take this Red Hood down and figure out who he is. They have a lot of good voice actors in here. Like they have, I believe his name's Jason Ackles, the guy who plays the Red Hood from Supernatural and who was in Smallville for a bit. And then they have Neil Patrick Harris as Nightwing. The only guy I don't remember the name is the guy who plays Batman, but he's the captain in Star Trek, the guy that gets captured. So yeah, you know who that is. Anyway, the voice cast here is great. Andrea Romano, I still believe, is the best voice director ever. I mean, Neil Patrick Harris, that guy's awesome. Don't believe me? Watch Dr. Horrible. Now, the story is handled really well. I just want to say a few things that I was a little picky about. First was, it was some of the animation scenes. They were quick scenes, but they were computer animated, where everything else was drawn, and they were really obvious. I mean, someone who doesn't watch a whole lot of animation may not notice, but for a guy like me who watches animated shows all the time, I could tell that they were really obvious computer shots when everything else wasn't. So it wasn't as good in that retrospect. There's a few shots with the Batwing. There's a scene where the criminals see these criminals see Nightwing, and this guy says, "Hey, who's that?" And he's like, "That's the first Robin. His name's Nightwing. He was the first Robin." I'm thinking, how on earth did these guys know that? I mean, it's not like when Dick Grayson became Nightwing, he said, "Okay, guys, I was the old Robin." I mean, in comic books, usually people say, "Yeah, I know you're the old Robin. You can't hide anything from me," sort of thing. Stuff like that. And then some people, don't even realize it if they don't know who Dick Grayson is, They don't realize that he used to be Robin. But, that's just the way it goes. I guess that was mostly just to inform the audience who aren't as familiar with Batman as I am, or as a lot of you guys watching are, just who he was. Otherwise, some people might say, "Oh, who's this guy?" Because they know Batman and Robin, but Batman and Nightwing isn't as something that is well known. The whole Ra's al Ghul scene, I thought was handled pretty well. I'm not crazy about the guy voicing it. Maybe it's just because I'm a fan of the animated series, and I love the guy who goes, "Yo, detective," yes, he kind of speaks like that. He's like, "Detective, you and this guy just spoke normally." The Joker. I remember my biggest complaint kind of is the Black Mask. Now, the Black Mask in this movie, the way I picture the Black Mask, he's a guy who's creepy, dark, conspicuous, and he's just a evil type villain who speaks in hushed tones and will scare you rather than with quiet tones rather than yelling at you. And this one, Black Mask is always yelling. I don't think he only has like 5 lines of dialogue where he's actually quiet, and that's when he's saying, "This guy's dead," and stuff like that. So I don't know. He's always yelling all the time, like he's pissed off about everything, and I don't like his suit because in comics, at least in comics recently, Black Mask looks like this. Creep and creepy, dark, and creepy. But in the movie, he's wearing a white suit and has rings on, and he's a pissed off businessman with a black mask. Now, the guy who did Joker, I think was he's no Mark Hamill, but I think he did a good enough job for the role. Joker had a couple of really good scenes, like he has a really amazing scene with Black Mask, and a couple of nice scenes on the bridge, but I won't go into that. But the best scene is in the end with Joker, Batman, and the Red Hood. I just love that scene so much. I mean, I just think it's so cool. It's just the way the dialogue, and it addresses an issue that a lot of people find silly when it comes to Batman. Why doesn't Batman just kill the Joker already? A lot of people say that, and they think, well, sure, Batman has his moral code, but it addresses something like that. It may not address it perfectly, but I think it does a good job in explaining why Batman just can't kill. Okay, this is a little spoiler at the end. So once again, if you haven't seen it, then you should have left a long time ago. But somebody complained of the scene at the end where Joker hands Batman the gun. Not Joker. When Red Hood hands Batman the gun and he says, decide, it's him or me. And then Batman drops it and walks away, and Red Hood points the gun and fires at Batman. A lot of people said that they didn't like that scene because it's like, what is he trying to get across there? I think that's just him. I love that. I like that because it points out that he's really gone to the point where he's gone so evil that he really will. Like you saw him earlier how he says, "I'm not talking about killing Penguin." He's justifying what he's doing, and he ends up shooting at a guy he said he'd kill anyone for. If anyone killed Batman, he said he would hunt them down until they were dead, right? So Then he fires at Batman, the guy who said he would just do that. And so I think it really helps portray Batman's point of view on the thing. All in all, I think I have to give this 8 out of 10. I'm not sure which one I like more. This was a really good movie, but I'm not sure if I like it more than the Green Lantern animated movie. It's between these two, because those two are definitely the best. So yeah, the next one they're doing is Superman and Batman. I would like to see them do a movie on a character that no one has that much knowledge of. Or at the very least, do a Flash movie. I would like to see a Flash animated movie because that's one character people need to see an animated movie of. Be sure to check out more of my other videos on my channel. And wait for more coming soon.